It's Capital Extra Breakfast. You're locked in with your favourites, Robert Bruce and Shayna Marie, starting your week with something very, very special.
We are buzzing, as right now we are joined by a bit of a legend. He's an Emmy, SAG, and Golden Globe award-winning actor, plus just been nominated for his first Oscar.
You might know him for his roles as Njobu in Black Panther, Ronald in Waves, and Randall in This Is Us.
Here for the release of his new film, American Fiction, it is Sterling K. Brown, everybody!
Wow, that's an intro. What up, fam? How y'all doing this morning?
Oh, we're good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get straight into it.
Yes.
American Fiction is out in cinemas now. For those who have no idea, may have not heard of it, what is the film about?
American Fiction follows our protagonist, a Thelonious Monk Ellison, played by the incomparable Jeffrey Wright. He is a writer who has been having a tough time in his career. He's trying to write things that are more esoteric, and he's a black man, but he wants to talk about things that not necessarily reflective of what mainstream America considers like the black experience, right? So he's seeing other writers who are sort of passing him by because they're writing stories about, you know, the hood, about hood trauma, etc., and white people are gobbling it up like it's just manna from heaven, right? So he's like, all right, y'all want a hood tale? I'm going to give you a hood tale. So as a joke, to a certain extent, he writes this thing called My Pathology, not even pathology, it's like My Pathology. And then he says to his editors, like, put it out there, see what they have to say. Like, not even as a joke, just straight up. And it becomes like the thing that white America embraces. Like, this is like the most important story. We have to listen to black voices, et cetera, right? And so the movie is about how only certain tales get told over and over again that represent the black experience, but that sort of thins the black experience to everybody else's eyes. And at the same time as we're doing this sort of satire about the stories that are told, there's a beautiful sort of black family drama that sort of counterbalances the satire in the film. So the film is saying, like, these are not the only stories that are representative of us. If you give us a chance, we can show you a greater swath of humanity that other people can find themselves inside of, whether they are black or not.
And that's on period. No, the film is a comedy. And from the trailer, it looks amazing. And it highlights as well, like you said, how black culture is often stereotyped at our expense. People want to put you in the little box. But it did look like a great time. Star-studded cast as well. Do you have any memories just from being on set, from making this film?
It was a great time. I think first and foremost, the script was so good. Cord Jefferson, our writer-director, gave us a wonderful tapestry to play with and offered us roles that we don't often get a chance to do for everybody, right? And so Jeffrey Wright, I've been a fan of his since forever. I get a chance to tease him as his little brother in the film. Erica Alexander plays his love interest. Tracy Ellis Ross is up in there. This queen, Leslie Uggams, plays our mother in the thing. And so the enthusiasm to get a chance to tell a nuanced, rich tale that's populated by black folks was something that we were all excited about. In terms of just fun stories, like, it's a small movie. Like, we shot it in 26 days, so it went by real quick. But the enthusiasm for it was high. We have the scene where me and Jeffrey are in a swimming pool. We're in Boston, Massachusetts. If y'all don't know about Boston, when we were shooting, it's cold.
Ooh, how cold we talking?
Cold is cold. And, you know, we are tropical people. So you put a black man in the swimming pool when it's cold, that's not my favorite thing.
No.
Right? But the fun part was that I actually get a chance to pull him into the swimming pool, too. So you had two brothers just, like, trying to act like it was warm in cold water. That was fun.
We know congratulations is in big order right now as well. First ever Oscar nomination. Can we do a round of applause for that first?
Appreciate it.
First ever Oscar nomination. Has it sunk in yet?
It's sunk in. Like, my mom has this phrase that she uses, being the good Christian soldier that she is. She says, blessed and highly favored. I said, Mama, how you doing? Blessed and highly favored. I said, that's exactly how your boy feels right now. I feel blessed and highly favored. I've been doing this for 20-some-odd years. This was not an expectation. I just try to do good work, tell good stories, and sort of bring people to life on screen. When people say, I feel seen in your performance, that's all I need. That's all I'm going for. So this icing on top of that was completely and totally unexpected, but really, really appreciate it. Like, I'm not gonna not go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna accept this invitation to the party and have the best time while I'm there.
And like, I like to ask people this question here, especially actors.
Yeah.
Sterling, in acting classes when you was younger or drama school, wherever you learned your craft, what was your vision for yourself? And did you ever feel like it would look like this?
The vision was to be a working actor. So I went to NYU, got my Master's of Fine Arts from there. And I remember praying when I finished. I said, God, we spent a lot of money on this degree. Like this, there's no guarantees in this business. I said, all I want to do is pay my bills by doing what it is that you asked me to do. And I haven't, to God be the glory. There's been I haven't had to temp. I haven't had to wait tables. I've been blessed to act since I graduated from grad school. And that's what success felt like to me. Because for the longest time, you just asked to show up, say your lines, do your job. But then like you get to a point in your career where people want to know how you feel, what you think about this, what you think about that. I'm reminded of like this Dave Chappelle joke when he's talking about Ja Rule after the towers crashed in 2001. They're like, Ja Rule, how are you feeling about the Twin Towers? And like, why are we asking Ja Rule about the Twin Towers? I feel now like Ja Rule. Like every once in a while, people are like, Brown, what do you think about X, Y, or Z? And I'm like, oh, wow. What? I just wanted to show up and say some lines. So like it has changed, but changed in a really delightful, wonderful way.
It's nice, and you mentioned now the awards are coming, and me and Robert were speaking earlier, when you do win that Oscar, Robert and I are going to hold the sound engineer hostage so they can't do you like they did you the Emmys.
That's very kind of you, I appreciate that.
We're going to just hold him in because you deserve. Speech ready? Practice in the mirror? Are you?
No speech.
No?
No speech at all. You know, what's interesting, I don't write any speeches. In the times in which I have one, I'll do like little bullet points on things and stuff that I want to say. But I do much better extemporaneously than I do if it's sort of formal. I'm not preparing anything for this. Shana, I'm just happy to be in the room where it happens.
Amen.
Like, that's all I'm really, and I think it's going to be the most pressure-free day of Brown's life because I don't anticipate nothing. Like, I anticipate Robert Downey Jr. going up there, getting this award, and Brown's going to clap and be real happy for him. Because Robert Downey Jr. is like the one white dude who has played black, and I was like, I don't have a problem with it.
You can get a pass.
I didn't have a problem with Tropic Thunder. Shout out.
Speaking about the film and stereotypically things that people associate with black people, right?
Yeah.
If there was one stereotype you could rewrite, what would it be?
I think it has to do with time.
Yeah. We just want to say Sterling was early today.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
serious.
saying? It has to do with time. And I'm in my household, like my kids know, like we like to be 5 to 10 to 15 early because it's not true. It's not, it can be. I don't know, you know what.
You starting, you're like, actually.
You know, sometimes. Y'all know.
Yeah.
Y'all know. Y'all know.
Yeah.
Y'all know there'll be certain guests and you'll be like, oh, we not expecting so-and-so for a couple of minutes. So you got to vamp a little bit until they get here or not. I would love for that to just be something that goes away because time is precious. It's the one thing that you can't get back. So that one.
Have you had any stereotypes put on you?
I've had people ask me in the past in my career, is like, can you kind of like lose that sort of smart guy thing? Like as if that was not a part of the black experience, right? Like in order for you to believe me as being black, I need you to sort of bring your intelligence back, right? And so I'm very happy that after 20 some odd years in the business that there is room and space and a greater acceptance of what blackness looks like and the ways in which it can manifest, because I would get sort of disheartened by those kind of comments earlier on in my career. Yeah.
From your perspective of things, and obviously you're on camera, you're in the circles, how do we take that forward to make sure that we don't ever backtrack into the stereotypes? What does it look like from your perspective?
It looks like black creatives getting a chance to tell black stories, right? It looks like minority representation, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera with regards to the people who are telling the stories. So you don't have to deal with people trying to say, like, what must it be like to be black? You have black people, Asian people, Indian people, Latin people getting the chance to tell the stories that are authentic to them. So that then there's no sort of guesswork. It's like, no, I know this story. This is authentic to me. I'm going to share it with you, right? I think for such a long time, it was white folks telling stories about other people. They're like, this is what black is, right? And then you have to like go through the script and be like, oh, I got to change this crap a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So hopefully when the storytellers are representative of the communities that they are telling stories about, there's going to be less of that.
Speaking of the Oscars again, yeah, this is your first time. Have you been before, or is it going to be?
No, it'll be my first time going to the show.
I feel like this is the one question everyone wants to know.
Okay.
Who's getting that +1? Because we know how your wife did you. We know how she did. We know how Ryan Michelle did you at the stage. Who's getting the +1?
She did me dirty.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, explain for us.
I'm going to say, so the first person ever nominated for anything in our household was my wife. It was a big deal. We were real excited. I was like, yo, you get to go to the SAG Awards? Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm going to buy a suit. It's going to be real tight and everything. And she's like, actually, I was thinking about taking my manager because it's a really great networking opportunity. And your boy was like, oh, that's sweet. I get that. That's all good. Went to go play Nintendo in the corner by myself. And then so a few years go by, and your boy's getting some recognition for some things or whatnot. And she's like, we get to go to Emmys. Like, this is going to be awesome. And I was like, we? I was like, you remember?
Took it right back.
You remember what happened a few years ago when you were going to the SAG Awards? I was like, nah. What I did learn is that it doesn't work the same way in the opposite.
It never does.
It would have ended the marriage
yeah.
Sir Robert. So, no, she went.
Yeah.
She went.
So I'm guessing
She's the +1.
She's at the Oscars before.
Can I say, like, as soon as I got the nomination, she's like, what am I going to win?
Yeah. It's not about you.
It wasn't congratulations. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, what a huge moment for you. She's like, I got to get to work. On my thing.
Time is really, really short right now.
Yeah, man.
60 seconds on the clock. We're going to ask you quick fire questions. Say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Go.
Yeah? All right, then. 60 seconds with Sterling K. Brown. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. What did you want to do when you was growing up?
I wanted to be a professional football player. American football, not your football, yeah.
Biggest lesson you've learned on set while filming?
Time is the only thing you can't get back. Don't waste it.
If you were a reggae artist, what would your first single be called?
Big Up.
Love that. Big Up. What's your go-to to eat on set?
Oh, goodness. It is apples and almond butter because I get a little dose of sugar and I get a little bit of protein.
What did your school report say about you?
I was a very versatile student. I was student council president. I was an honor society. I was a 3-year varsity letterman in football. Like, just a well-rounded student.
Come on.
Yeah.
What 3 music artists do you have on repeat right now?
J. Cole, Drizzy, K-Dot. Yeah, that's really, always.
What do you do to keep your wellness in check?
The meditation is key. Being centered and intentional about who you want to be in the world so that you are not reactive, but you are responsive.
Who would you love to work with from the UK?
I love Daniel. He produced the movie that I did, Kaluuya. So he'd probably be my first. And he won his Oscar. So I want to work with people who win.
Winners only. If you could do anything again, what would you do differently?
When I went to uni, I would make sure I did a year abroad, like expanding my horizons. I think I thought in a very small-minded sort of way. But you learn through exposure, whether that's through media, whether that's through books, whether that's through travel. Don't limit yourself in terms of what you want to be exposed to.
And that was 60 seconds with Sterling K. Brown. Smashed it.
Wicked, man. It's been an absolute pleasure, Sterling. Thank you so much for coming through. We cannot wait to watch this film.
Pleasure's mine, bro. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Shayna.
Thank you. To my name. You can catch American Fiction out in cinemas now. Let's give it up one last time for Sterling K. Brown.